Thank you
So
for joining
tonight we will
us.
do a very short class, about 20 minutes or so, just to get the body going. We could look at this as a way to really wake up the body to get moving in the morning. So let's begin. So, one of the nice ways to begin is to come into hands and knee position. I think sometimes people call this tabletop. And we'll start with some cat and dog tilts. So we're going to round the spine into cat. Inhale to dog. So we're warming up the spine on hands and knees. Make things a little bit more easeful to start the day. And if you want to add in some circling in the pelvis, you can also add some circling in the pelvis. And with circling in the pelvis, you can make it a small circle just to start moving the spine a little bit laterally. Or you can try to make it a little bit bigger so it really starts to move through the bigger joints, thigh sockets, shoulder girdle. So you can do a few of these, and then you can come back to all fours and then do a few just rounding the spine. Really bringing that breath into the spine. Exhale as you roll up. Inhale as you look up, and then if you want to do circles with the pelvis the other direction. So I'm trying to remember which direction I did before. Sometimes my body remembers, and sometimes it doesn't. So just giving your pelvis that circle in the other direction that it goes through those big joints in the body. And then come back to neutral spine. And we're going to change the breath cycle here just to notice the difference. So you're going to inhale as you round up and exhale as you look up. Inhale as you round up. Exhale as you look up. And do a few more like that with this cycle. And then come back to neutral again. And bring the big toes together, knees wide. And you can walk the hands a little bit more forward so that you really use the weight of the pelvis. Pull those sit bones back to the heel, and you can feel that, hopefully you feel that you get a good stretch through the spine. And then bring those elbows together and try to walk them a little bit forward, and you can get another little shoulder stretch here. So you're pressing those armpits towards the floor as best as you can. They're a little bit on a diagonal, but I imagine you'll still feel a bit of a stretch here. And then inhale, come up, bring the hands back down and the feet down, and we will bring the right knee in, and then inhale long. So you're really just getting some movement going where the spine is head tail, but you're including the leg here in that cat and dog tilt. so you can get some real extension through the spine and some real flexion, and it gives you a little bit of abdominal work as well. And then the next time the leg's long, really press that right hand in, that left shin in, and extend the toe tips and the fingertips here. And you can have a few breaths here, and this really engages your core. And bring that hand down, and bring the other knee forward and extend. So it's a little bit like a swing here. You're not trying to really muscle this pose. You're trying to just get the movement going with the head and the tail. So the spinal column has some movement. And then the next time the leg is long, inhale the opposite arm, the right hand. And feel that extension between the fingertips and the toe tips, that you're being well supported here. You really press the shin, the foot, the opposite hand, and bring that leg down, and then go. Then take the hands a little forward, and again, go into big toes together, knees wide, getting that length in the spine. And then bring those elbows in towards each other and come into another bit of a shoulder armpit stretch. This time as you come up, you're going to swing that right hand between, right foot between the hands. And then bring the hands up onto the thigh and just come into a lunge. And then tuck the toes under and come into a higher lunge, or Virabhadrasana Warrior One. Really extend the back leg. And if you're feeling up to it, or the stability here, you can inhale those arms up, really feeling that length through that back leg, but also up through your side body. And slowly bring the hands down, drop that knee down, and bring that right leg back. And if you'd like, you can do a couple of cat dogs here, just to keep that spine supple. And then swing that left foot between your hands. Bring the hands up and come into that lunge. A couple of breaths here. And then take the back toes and extend through that back heel, really extending that leg. I can remember when a teacher would say, extend the back leg. Oh, it is extended. And then I'd feel even more extension. And then if you want to bring the arms up, come into Warrior One. And we could bring the hands down, drop back foot down, the other leg in. Just do a couple of cat and dogs. And then tuck your toes under and come into a downward facing dog. And if you're up to it, you can bend the front thighs there, bend the knees a little bit. Really press the armpits towards the floor. And then slowly extend your legs and get even more stretch through the backs of the legs. And then come on down with the knees and swing that right foot between your hands. Come up to the hands on the thigh. Now keep the forearm here as you slowly extend through the back leg to come up to Parsvakonasana. And then you can extend the top arm straight up if you have issues in your shoulders. If you want more stretch on the side body, extend the arm long. Couple of breaths. And then you bring the hand down, bring the knee back down, both hands, and then swing that leg forward. Again, if you want to do some cat and dog tilts to keep that movement going in the spine. And swing that left leg forward. Come up with both hands, but then you're just going to put your forearm on that leg, extend that back foot, and either the arm can go straight up or it can come up and over. Couple of breaths. And you bring that hand down and the other hand and the knee down and swing that back. And again, you can do a couple of cat dogs. And then come back to neutral. Tuck the toes under. Come into downward facing dog. And if you found it useful in the other pose, bend the knees just a little bit. Press the armpits even more towards the floor. Straighten the legs. See if you can just get more stretch in the backs of those legs. And then exhale the legs down and swing the right leg through. And again, come up with your hands here. Now you're going to take the opposite elbow on the outside, or you can just put that hand here. We're going to go up into a twist. So you're, did I miss? Oh no, I missed I got the other side. And then extend that back foot long and come into the twist here. If you want to hold your hands in prayer, you can. Or you can just have one hand on your sacrum. Then you slowly unwind. Bring the back knee down, hands down. Swing that leg back. And a little bit of cat and dog. And then swing the left foot between the hands. And you come up to the thigh. And this is where you can just, put the hand here and the hand on the sacrum. Or if you already want to put the elbow, you can do that. And come into Parsvakonasana twist. A couple of breaths here. And then to come down, you unwind the upper body, bring the back leg down, hands down, legs down, and then a couple of cat and dogs. Create space in the spine. And then slowly come to neutral, tuck toes under, into downward dog. And again, you can bend the knees, bring the armpits towards the floor, slowly straighten the knees. Couple of breaths here. And then inhale, coming back down to all fours. I just have to pay attention to what time it is. And then do a little bit more cat and dog. And then just walk a little. I need to walk a little bit more forward on my mat. You may be okay where you are. We're going to come into plank. So you're going to take one leg long and then the other leg long. Find your plank. And if you're up to it, come into side plank. You can bring a foot behind or in front if it's too intense to have both feet here. And then you can come back through plank and then come to the other side. Into side plank, foot can come behind, or foot can come in front. You can modify it. Come back through plank, bring the knees down. Come into cat and dog tilt. So we'll do another cycle of those, and you can modify it as that works for you. So this time, see if you can stretch out the opposite leg that you did the last time. Then bring the other leg, come into plank. Inhale into side plank, whichever variation you can do. Exhale, come back through plank, and then come to the other side into side plank. Come back into plank, bringing the knees down. A little bit of cat, dog. And then bring the hands forward and go back into big toes together. Knees wide. Slowly come up to sitting. And if you're able to go into what I call clam, I've heard it called other things. But the feet are together, but they're not close to the groin. And you can use your hands to stack your head on your heels. Or if you have a prop nearby, you can put a cushion, a block, anything else. But as you come into this, see if you can really bring those shoulder blades towards the hips so that you're not lifting the shoulders towards the ears. See if you can really soften the shoulder blades. Come into that rounded spine here. Using the heat that we just developed in the rest of the practice. Come into a nice, quieting down low. Slowly come up and then come into
whatever form of Shavasana that you want to practice today. We'll just do a very quick Shavasana, since that was a very quick practice. But really, practice is practice. It doesn't matter how long, it just matters that you just start somewhere, do a few poses, and then maybe you go on with the rest of your day. So yoga is something that doesn't have to be done in 2-hour slots. It can be done in 10-minute intervals if that works best for your schedule. And if you want to have feet up the wall, feet in a chair, you can stay there. And then just begin to notice your breath. Notice perhaps your heart rate, because this practice had some invigoration to it. But it's always good to see what can happen after invigorating the body. Can you find your way into a quiet stillness, into a space where the breath begins to slow down? Perhaps you want to increase your exhales right now. Maybe you do 4 counts inhale, and then 6 counts exhale. If you happen to go longer than that, then just do that. So come into whatever slow down exhale practice that suits your body. And then you want to slowly reawaken your body. Extend your fingers, extend your toes, getting some movement there. And then you can slowly stretch and roll to your right side and come up to sitting. And that was just a little short practice to get you going. Whenever you have time for just a short practice. So namaste. Have a beautiful day. watching and joining us.